Hello everyone, welcome to our Timeless Sunset Tarot. Now, this is a general reading and it is open to all zodiac signs. So just take what resonates with you. It is also timeless, so anytime you find yourself watching this video, there might be a message here for you. Now, let's try to see what is the main energy at the end of the day. Okay, we have here the Eight of Cups. You finally decided to leave behind a life situation. You are undergoing a moment of transition at this time from something that you have been used to in the past. Because when you look at it, the cups here are well organized, and it is something that you have mastered already, and you're moving on to something new. But I feel that as you walk away, you are taking with you a cup, because when you look at here at the stack of cups, one cup is missing. Okay, so it seems like yes, you're leaving behind a life situation, but you've gathered all the lessons that you can learn from it, and now you are moving on to something new, taking with you this new life's lesson. Now, this card can also be an invitation for you to finally let go of something that uh, is already finished, something that you no longer need at this time. You are being invited to something new, and it is as if the card is inviting you. Gather all the lessons you've learned, gather all the gems that you have received from this past experience, take it with you, and move on to something new. Okay, so it's like finally you're finishing something. For some of you, the word graduating is coming right now. You are graduating from something, and you are being invited to take with you all the lessons you've learned, all the gems you have discovered from that experience, from that situation, from that relationship. Because cups are usually related to relationships. So something new is being offered to you. It's like it's time for you to close the door. If it has been a painful experience, or it has been you've learned something that you might have committed some mistakes in the past, it's time to you. It's time for you to begin again, to move on, to take with you everything that you have learned and begin anew. For some of you, it will require you to travel. Okay, which reminds me, I am sorry I was not able to do some readings because for the past few days I have been traveling from one place to another, and there just wasn't any sufficient place where I could really set up and do some reading. Finally, I'm able to settle down in a place, and after being able to rest a little, yeah, finally I'm able to do readings again. So, like the one described in the card, I have been moving on to other places. And I take with me every lesson that I can learn from those places, and hopefully I will be able to apply it into the new setting I find myself in. So it's like that. It's as if the card is inviting us. Take with you the lessons from the past experiences and begin anew. Now, let's try to see how this will further unfold. Okay, a sunny day awaits us. Just live the present moment to the full. Enjoy the new experiences and enjoy the new discoveries. Be aware of the divine working in your life every single moment as you pass through this new experience. So enjoy this new experience. Live the present moment to the full. Bask in the presence and generosity of the divine. Be aware of how the divine is slowly making wonders in your life. Now, what is the advice of the universe for us? Well, there will be a need for you to have moderation. Maybe moderation. The first thing that came to me is moderation in food. The second that came is moderation in sleep. Okay. Balance everything. So make sure you get sufficient sleep, but not too much. Make sure that you have sufficient nourishment, but also not too much. I feel that for some of you at this moment, there's an abundance of food and you need to have some temperance in it. Also, uh, don't neglect your inner journeys. Okay, so as you go through life with many activities, as many of you might be traveling right now or changing your life situation, don't forget to take moments of silence and solitude to allow yourself to get in touch with your inner environment, to be in touch with the divine, to be aware of the divine working in your life, to allow also yourself to be docile to the guidance coming from your spirits and your guides. So have time and space for mystical experiences. Okay, now let's go to insights at twilight. Moon cycles, okay, be aware of the moon cycles. Yeah, for some of you, maybe the feeling of being drained can be related to the cycles of the moon. Maybe the feeling of having difficulty in sleeping might be related to the cycles of the moon. Maybe some of you are having some ascension symptoms or some headaches or whatever it is. Just be aware of how the cycles of the moon influences you. The more you know on how you respond to the cycles of the moon, the more you'll be able to grow in your intuitive journey. Okay. You'll understand yourself more the more you try to see how you are affected by your environment, especially at this moment by the cycles of the moon. We have here Archangel Haniel. Notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations and capitalize upon these cycles. So try to see which are the moments in the cycles of the moon that is beneficial for you. Which are the moments when you can be very active in the mystical sense, and which are the moments when you just need to take a moment of pause, a moment of rest, a moment of recovery. Okay, so allow the cycles of the moon to teach you more and introduce to yourself more your inner self. Okay, it's like that. Let the cycles of the moon teach you more about you. It will teach you a lot of things. And when you know these things, the way you respond to the cycles of the moon, then you will be able to utilize your gifts and discover more gifts much more clearly. You see here, a person changing his life situation with the Eight of Cups is also being influenced by the cycles of the moon. I feel also that the moon also can symbolize that, like in the cycles of the moon, you just can glimpse certain things but not so clearly. But when you discover one small sliver of knowledge from your encounter with the nature or with your environment or with the cycles of the moon, you take one step forward and you discover other new things, and sooner or later you get to know yourself more deeply, especially your inner self and the stirrings happening from within you. Enjoy the process of that discovery with the sun card, and at the same time try to pass through the middle road If you pass through the middle road wherein you don't go to the extremes, you are aware or you are careful to always face things and do things, or take things in moderation, then the journey the journey inwards, especially the discovery of how you interact with the cycles of nature, will be more profound, and yeah, there will be enlightenment at the end of the journey. So yeah, for some of you, as you leave behind certain life situations, maybe the cycles of the moon can help you also through this process of change. When you know which are the best times for you to work and which are the best times for you to rest, it allows your transition period to be more comfortable and more profitable, more beneficial for you. Well, that's it for today. I hope you were able to benefit from our reading. Thank you for the likes and comments you've given to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. I hope to see you again soon. Until that time, may God continue to bless your ways.